drowning in a sea of fear, at least Madame Curie would throw you a scrap of knowledge. My father was even worse. For him, just pure reason. What's the worst that could happen? No matter what you were afraid of, getting a shot at the doctor's office, jumping off of the high diving board, going away to overnight camp. What's the worst that could happen? Well, you know, when I was a child, I idolized my father. I thought he knew everything. And so even though thinking about the worst that could happen just scared the crap out of me, I just figured I was doing it wrong. And it was only years later that it occurred to me the man just had no imagination. Because the worst that could happen, it's a question, your mind reels with hideous possibilities. And if you're 10, all of them lead to gruesome, ghastly death. Afraid of Richie Kutcher's fastball? What's the worst that could happen? Well, I should tell you, Richie Kutcher was everything I would later come to look for in a girlfriend. He was unbelievably fast and incredibly wild. But for a pitcher, what's the worst that could happen? Well, the ball could hit me square in the face, my skull could split open like a coconut, my brains could spill out on home plate, and I could die. Another time I got stuck up on the roof. I never liked heights. I'm like, fuck. I never liked heights. I was up on the roof helping them clean gutters, and I was afraid to come down. Afraid to come down the ladder? What's the worst that could happen? My foot could slip on the top rung. My butt could come down on the upright part, which would shoot right through my body out the top of my head with my brain smeared on the side, and I could die. Afraid to try stand-up comedy? Don't even get me started on this. This is a case where the worst is all that can happen. No matter what, you're doomed. If I do well here tonight, it goes well for me, you like it, you rush out, you tell both of your friends. The next thing you know, after 40 years, I'm an overnight sensation. Everybody wants a piece of me. It's like Beatlemania all over again. But I don't even have 3 other international superstars to share the burden. I could get high blood pressure, palpitations, I could definitely die. But in this case, my brain does remain concealed inside my head. On the other hand, let's suppose it doesn't go so well for me here today. For whatever reason, you don't respond to my material. It's too sophisticated for you. Too intellectual, all this talk of testicles and such. For whatever reason, you don't respond. I feel isolated, vulnerable, exposed. What do they say when a comedian fails? I could die. Now I know you're thinking, don't worry, Steve, we got your back. You're a hand-picked audience after all. Not for me, I'm brave, but you know, Rob's just a young guy. So I know you're thinking you're not going to let me die. You know, you've got me covered. But don't be too quick with that, because what if it's either me or you? Because if I don't die, go back to that first scenario, things go well for me. Everybody's going to say the same thing. He knocked him dead. Okay? I would like nothing better right now than to see you all die laughing. Anytime a comedian has a good show, I think they all say the same thing. I killed them, slaughtered them. In medieval times, the comedians used to say, I slayed them. Biblical comics, I slew them. Sadomasochistic comics, I tied them up in chains, I whipped them, I cut them up in little pieces. So you see the problem, and with all respect to my father, this is what comes from thinking about the worst that could happen.